Interested how you see Hawaii's economy in the moment because we keep hearing that the state is doing quite well. We're going to be facing a large surplus, which is something that's always nice. So government can probably do more. At the same time, we know the cost of living is so tough for so many people. You alluded to housing, and that's a huge challenge. So when you look at the economy, what's your assessment?
Well, I think from the tourism standpoint, United States, the numbers coming from California and the East Coast have made up for the Asian market. But when it comes to visitors to Hawaii, we've always appreciated the Asian market. And, Ryan Calais was in a meeting with myself and others in Japan just recently for the United States-Japan Council. And we were trying to get them to come. The governor has been there 3 times trying to get the visitors from Japan to come. We were at the government offices, we were at travel agency offices, and a lot of the corporate offices. We got some incentive travel through Haneda Airport, through JTB, because they love Hawaii. Right now the yen is weak. Everybody knows that. So I think for people who are traveling to Japan, good for you because it's, when you go out and eat, you realize how much you can eat for as little as $30. But the Japanese visitor, and I talk about this all the time, there is no other visitor that cares for Hawaii like the Japanese visitors do. And I say this because it's true. There are over 2 million hula dancers in Japan. That's more than the people of Hawaii, and they love our culture. Ukulele, the food, everything that Hawaii has to offer, the Japanese visitor, and not to not talk about other Asian markets, but I don't know that anybody comes close to Japan when it comes to respecting our culture and respecting our aina. So that's exciting for me. And the governor has been, like I said, on 3 trips, and he's pretty entertaining in those meetings, and they appreciate it, and they've sent some of their incentive travel to us. So.
One of the things that we know that the governor was pushing and that conversations were had in your visits to Japan was a mechanism and a way to help expedite the onboarding process of Japanese visitors who come to Hawaii through a pre-clearance program. It has been something that the governor has talked about times. It's a point that Governor Ige also tried to do during his administration. Where have conversations gone since then, and what are maybe some of the challenges that you're looking forward as you look to potentially create an easier pathway for visitors to come to Hawaii?
Okay, so what's important to know that Customs and Border Patrol is not an agency that expedites entry. They're a security agency, so that's a federal process. But everything else on the ground here in Hawaii, and we gotta thank Cameron Deptula from the governor's office. He's worked so hard on this program, and we just had a meeting at the Japanese embassy's house last week, and we're really close to making sure that there are programs that expedite travel, and there's gonna be a pilot program for the marathon. As you know, there's so many Japanese people that come in for that. So I don't want to go over the details with that because I'm not privy to all of it, but I do know that there is going to be a program that will allow Japanese visitors with some pre-clearance to come in quicker when they come here, and then we'll use that program going forward for the rest of the visitors that come after the marathon.
Ryan mentioned at the top of the program that we're talking about tourism, we're talking about Aloha Stadium, and we're talking about the economy. The governor was on here recently, and he was really focused on sports tourism. You mentioned, Dana White and some of the others that are, players in that market, but we can't have sports tourism without Aloha Stadium. So where are we on the stadium project? We know that our next guest is going to address that as well, but from where you sit, how do you see that project going?
I am so happy that the next guest is in charge of the stadium, because you know what, he's done an excellent job. And I worked with Brennan when he was in the governor's cabinet, Governor Lingo's cabinet, but not as much as I'm working with Brennan now. And I appreciate the experience that he brings, the knowledge that he brings from an engineering standpoint, and he's gotten us a long way along with the team at the airport with Ryan Andrews and Chris Sadiasu. So I know Brennan will share that information, but I'm pleased at where we are right now. I know the governor is working very hard. He's talking to as many people as he can for support, and it could be financial, it could be some other incentive stuff for the stadium. and we're all hands on deck because we want to, the people of Hawaii deserve a venue that is a quality stadium. We don't, hopefully we don't build a stadium that is all bleachers and is like a glorified high school stadium on mainland standards. So it's something that we are putting in, as many resources as we possibly can, and I'm hopeful that we will come up with a product that the people of the state of Hawaii can be proud of.
Well, one of the things that the governor alluded to is that there may be support for the project beyond what is currently existing with the state allocation of $400 million, that there are other people outside of government that may be interested in helping support this project. What can you tell us about any developments there, or if this is something that will help the stadium move forward?
Well, okay, just look at what the governor has done. I mean, with on hospital on Maui and other things, he has brought in philanthropic people to support it. And so I'm not, I'm not going to be surprised if he's successful at getting other people to support a stadium like this, because there's a lot of philanthropic people who live in Hawaii, and I think they feel the same way that we feel, that Hawaii deserves a quality venue. So I'm in lockstep with the governor on trying to find somebody.
And what are